everyone, the Premier League 25-26 fixtures have been released. So as for West Ham, we'll have a look. Of course, we'll have a look. So kicking things off, when the Premier League returns for the first time since what was a couple of weeks ago, but it feels like a couple of years ago. The first 3 games in August before that little international break is Sunderland away, Chelsea at home and Nottingham Forest away. First of all, Sunderland away. Every single team in the Premier League wanted Sunderland away, especially like Newcastle.
7,000 Sunderland's a massive club.
But I tell you what, West Ham got on. Fair play to us. We've got Sunderland, a newly promoted team, a more favourable probably game to play. I'm not going to say it's easy by any means, but Sunderland away, we will take that one to kickstart the season. Then moving into Chelsea at home. Now that is a lot more difficult. I'm sure you can agree. No disrespect to Sunderland or any other team in the Premier League, but that is quite a difficult game. A Chelsea team who really had a little bit of a strange season, but in the end got Champions League, and it is going to be a pretty tricky fixture at home. Although when we did have them at home a couple of seasons ago, second game of the season, we won 3-1. So hopefully similar result. And just before that first international break, we are heading to the City Ground to play against Nottingham Forest. Now Nottingham Forest had a bit of a weird season as well. Like, they've done really well, ended up getting Conference League, they wanted Champions League and all of that. Whether or not that will carry on next season, I'm not 100% sure. Are they a one-season wonder? I'm not going to get into that. But heading to the City Ground in general, no matter what Forest side is there, West Ham never seem to score. So hopefully we can score our first goal and hopefully take those 3 points, because that'll be a brilliant start to the season. Come on, you Lions. So after that Forest game, we head into that little pointless international break. England are going to be playing like Albania or San Marino or Malta. I honestly don't even care. We come back to the Premier League, the more important stuff, for Tottenham at home.
Top spur.
West Ham are in a cup final this early in the season. We must be on for a quadruple. But in all seriousness, Tottenham at home will be an interesting game. Their new manager, Thomas Frank, how is he going to favour at the start of the season? This is still, kind of early doors. Tottenham at home, West Ham, could be an interesting game. Let's have it. Followed up by Crystal Palace at home. Always a bit of a weird fixture. I mean, this season we lost. Last season we drew. And the season before that we lost as well. We need to get a result over Palace. No disrespect to Palace, obviously. The FA Cup champions are going to be playing in the Europa League as well. And the other game in September is Everton away. So heading to the famous Hill Dickinson Stadium for the first ever time. Gotta love that. And moving into October, it's usually known as the month for Halloween, the month where things start to get a bit scary, but it's only going to be scary for one team, and that team is Arsenal at the Emirates. To kickstart the month, we have got Arsenal away, and I tell you what, the last 2 seasons, we've won there. They've also battered us at our ground, but we've won at the Emirates, so things are once again looking scary for the Gunners, who, let's face it, are going to finish second again.
On my deck.
And the next 2 games of October are Brentford at home. They won't have their beloved Thomas Frank, and then followed up by a trip to Elland Road as we go up to Leeds. Leeds are falling apart again. And then we have 4 games in November. I believe there's an international break in there as well. So loads and loads of football in November. Those first 2 games are actually both at home, and they are Newcastle and Burnley.
Burnley can fuck off.
They're going to both be interesting games. Burnley, newly promoted. Will they learn from their mistakes before and actually stay up in the Premier League? And Newcastle as well. I feel as though it's a big season for them. They won their trophy last year, so who knows what will happen at the London Stadium. Followed up by an away day to the Vitality Stadium to play it against AFC Bournemouth. Now, this season just gone, they started off really well, and don't get me wrong, they still had a great season, but they didn't get any Europe in the end. They're going to lose a load of their key players, and that could be quite an interesting game to see how Bournemouth are going to do next season, just after that little international break in November. Now, that is followed up by Liverpool at home. Now, the last time I believe we played Liverpool at home in November, we beat them 3-2 with a Kurt Zouma header. So the newly crowned Premier League champions of Liverpool will be coming to the London Stadium in late November, and hopefully West Ham can get a result like we did a couple of years ago, as we are going to be the next Premier League champions. But in all seriousness, enough talking about champions. We're heading to a team close to the championship, and that is Manchester United at Old Trafford to kickstart December. Bring your raincoats, bring your wellies, bring your umbrellas, as we are heading to Old Trafford to kickstart December midweek in the cold. Honestly, I really hope we get those 3 points, as otherwise it's going to be a very long journey home, followed up by not such a long journey home, and that is Brighton away. Of course, this season was late heartbreak. I don't know how we went on to actually lose that game from 2-1 up with about 2 minutes to go, but honestly, Brighton away in December, Love to see it. And the two games leading up right before Christmas are Aston Villa at home and Man City away. Man City away in this season just gone, we got battered 4-1 and Lopetegui got the sack. Maybe that was City returning the favour of so many favours that we've given them over the years. So thank you, City, for doing that. We needed to get rid of Lopetegui anyway. But that other game, Aston Villa at home, that one last time was the John Duran derby. Now, he is out in the Saudi League. I've heard some rumours of him potentially wanting to come to West Ham. No, steer clear. He didn't want to come the first time. Don't let him come the second time. But those two games will both be pretty interesting against two very, very good sides. And then on Boxing Day, well, actually the 27th of December, we are playing against the Cheeseball Merchants of Fulham at home. And we're at home for the first time in forever on Boxing Day. Usually we're away. The last 3 seasons have been Arsenal away again, and then Southampton away. So we're at home this one. That'll be a bit different. And then also to finish December, we got Brighton. We just played Brighton a couple of weeks ago. We got them again. At home. But what's even stranger is that we played Brighton twice before we've even played Wolves once. We play all the other teams once. We don't play Wolves yet. We played Brighton twice. What's going on there in the first half of the season? Very, very odd. But starting January 2026, which sounds really, really weird to say, we head to the Molineux to finally play against Wolves. Yay. Yes, get in there. We get to go to the Molineux. The Molineux. The worst away end in the league. People complain about the London Stadium. It's got to be the Molineux. It is so, so bad. But anyway, moving on from that, we've got Nottingham Forest at home at the London Stadium. Another terrible stadium. But at least this time, we'll be at home, surrounded by our own fans, and hopefully getting a result over Nottingham Forest that we couldn't do this season. Because leading into that, we've got What Else Would You Do on Saturday, the 17th of January. Tottenham away.
Love it.
Thomas Frank's Tottenham, if he's still got the job by then. We know what Tottenham are. They could sack him by this point. Against Graham Potter, also, he could be gone as well, so I don't know what I'm talking about. Tottenham versus West Ham, 17th of January. Mark your diaries, Tottenham's Cup final. Followed up by welcoming Sunderland to the London Stadium. A very, very long journey for them. And then Chelsea away for that final game in January. Gonna be a nippy one, and hopefully for the first time in what seems like forever, we can get a result at Stamford Bridge. Stamford Bridge is falling down. Poor old Chelsea. And then into February, we play 2 northern teams. One of those with a northern fan base, one of those with a southern fan base. The northern fan base is Burnley as we head to Turf Moor. It's the Claret and Blue derby. And the second one is Man United, a northern team with a southern fan base, all living around the corner as we play them at the London Stadium. And then just like in the reverse fixtures of late November, late February is Bournemouth at home, then Liverpool away. Can we win at Anfield for the first time since 2015? Probably not, to be honest. But moving into March, we've got Fulham, Man City, then Aston Villa. Fulham at Craven Cottage to kickstart March. Last season, we got a 1-1 draw with a 95th minute Danny Ings equaliser. That was mental. Season before that, we lost 5-0. And the season before that, we won 1-0. So we've seen a win, a loss, and a draw. Hopefully, another win next season. And then, as I say, Man City at home and Aston Villa away. 2 fairly tricky games. And moving into April, we're getting into the business end of the season now. West Ham's title charge, or relegation battle, is really coming into play as we kickstart April by playing at home to Wolves. Followed up by a trip to South London. No, unfortunately not Millwall. They're too tiny. They'll be battling to stay up in the Championship. They're going to be going down to League One and playing Crawley in the 26-27 season. But not Millwall. We're talking about Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park away in mid-April. Followed up by then Everton at home. The return of the Moyes. And our last 4 games of the season, they feel like eternities away. But I tell you what, we will be there before we know it. We start it off with a trip to the G-Tech Community Stadium to play against Brentford. Then we've got Arsenal at home. We've been battered the last 2 seasons, 5-2 and 6-0 at the London Stadium against Arsenal. It can't go on like this, can it?
It can.
Leaving our final 2 games of the Premier League 25-26 season as Newcastle away and Leeds at home. At home for the last game of the season. We don't usually get that whatsoever. I know we haven't had it for the last 3 or 4 seasons. So we're at home for the last game of the season against Leeds, and that is where we'll be lifting the Premier League trophy. And we'll be looking forward to that. Let me know your thoughts about the fixtures down in the comments below. Which ones are you most looking forward to? Come on, you Irons. We're going to win the league at home to Leeds. Abosh. Or get relegated at Brentford. Anyway, we move. Please like and subscribe.